What's up, traders, and welcome to my stream. This past week has been pretty amazing. We had huge movers Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then we kind of transitioned into a base hit market. Made a total of $202,881 in 5 weeks of trading, and there was a lot of errors that went into it. Like Monday, Tuesday, I was excited, 75K on Monday. I think it was 40K on Tuesday, and then like 60K on like Wednesday. And then Thursday, I saw the momentum slowing down, and I kind of got into my base hit scenario. So I have like a 14 page, 20-page slide of what are my rules and what rules I've broken. Obviously, you're all excited for educational purposes only, as usual. So we're gonna get started with the slide. This is kind of like slide that I have going for it. So for educational purposes, use for practice first in the simulator, and also make sure you join my Discord room. A lot of people are watching my videos, and you're not in my Discord room, and you're gonna be missing out on plays. The plays are pretty much you know, uh, so just go to my website, unusualdaytrader.com, and you can get into the Discord room for as low as $100 to just see me talk, and $150 to attend the live stream. So you can be just in the chat for $97. That's just insanely low. Anyway, so today's week has been pretty good. $202,881. Those are kind of like all my gains, all my profits. This was Monday. Monday started out pretty nicely. My greatest gain was on STY, buying it at 13, selling it at 20. And then NVTS, that was a Friday's mover. So ELBM, that was a short. So STY and ELBM were pretty much the sympathy momentum of GWH, and all the other ones were kind of like, oh, whatever. This was Tuesday. Tuesday, I started shorting the battery stocks. You can see so here, and I kind of over traded a bit over here. You can see so, but I pretty much maintained my size. So I over traded on Tuesday. That's pretty much a rule over here. This was Wednesday, and this was Friday, and this was Thursday. Wednesday, I had a 40K gain shorting Omer. And Tuesday, I pretty much came into my base hit bread and butter. And this was Friday. So overall, it came out to be like 208K. So pretty much you can see that this was Monday's video, this was Tuesday's video, this was Wednesday video, this was Thursday and Friday video. So if you want to see all my recaps for those trades, just make sure you watch all these videos. They're still on the site. The one that had the most views was pretty much my Wednesday video. So this was Monday, this was Tuesday, this was Wednesday, this was Thursday and Friday. So pretty much my data based on what have I been. So I pretty much inputted all my data over here, what is going on. My average win rate this week has been 78%, which is probably the highest I've ever been. I don't think I don't think I ever got past 80%. I think 78.3. I had 18 wins, 23 trades. Average win on a long was 27%. I made 27% average. I made a 56% gain, 50%, 50%, 19, 2, and 12. And then average win on a short trade, the most I made was 72% on GWH short. If you guys remember GWH short, that was my best trade. That was like the most was ridiculous. This was my GWH trade. Hold on, where is it? Second, because I just pulled it up. Um, this was GWH trade. GWH trade. I went short at an epic price. Was it at 12? I actually nailed the top of it. I nailed it at top at 12, and then I covered at like 650. That was my this was my epic short. I actually shorted the top on the third green day. Shorted at 12, covered at 650. So that was 73% gain. That was my best short. Average win rate 25%, average losing trade 10%, profit and loss 2 to 7. You make 2 times more on your winners than you lose on losers. Your short positions actually perform exceptionally well. GWH being a massive 72.8% gain. So that's pretty substantial, pretty good numbers, really good numbers this week. I just follow my rules. So my mistakes: trading prior to 9 a.m. on Monday, not stopping out on GWH sooner, and adding to a loser after I was winning on it. Those are kind of like my mistakes for this week. Let's talk about it. Trading before 9 a.m. on Monday. Stocks are very fast. Company release news and the stocks pop and drop. Refuse to trade them because the volatility being too high. You can see, so here CHNR popped up from, I don't know, 8 to like 11. And if I don't buy it and I don't lock in, you had a harsh candle from 11 down to 750 in 2 minutes. Sty, you had a rejection candle from 13 down to 9, and actually it flushed like $2 over here. And over here it flushed another $2. That's like 11 down to 9 in 2 minutes. So 13 down to 11. It flushed $2 in 1 minute, and then it flushed $2 in 1 minute. This one, 11 to 8, flushed $3 in 2 minutes. Also GWH, I think I was short this one and whatever. So that's the reason I don't trade prior to 9 a.m. Each week I see traders trading before 9 a.m. and I'm very happy for you if you're fast enough and if you're able to pretty much lock it in and not getting caught into these rug pulls. More power to you, but I'm not able to trade that fast. So therefore I just refuse to trade before 9 a.m. The next slide is gonna be the problems that I had this week. Not stopping out of a short in GWH. You can see, so here in GWH, I was initially short at 710. I covered at 650. I went long at 580. I got out at 640. So you can see, so first trade short at 7 a.m., covered at 6. So I made like $1 or something. Bought 580, sold at 640, made some profit. And then third trade, I shorted at 640 with 660 stops. So I did not honor my stop losses. That was, that's the thing about trading. I did not handle my stop loss because I was short like 630 and I was risking a VWAP. See if we can break down my GWH short here. Let's see, it's a time frame on it. We can really understand, like over here, you can see, so here. So right here, I was short 610 and then I was risking 630 or 640. I was short 620, then I was risking 660 or 640. So enough, it blew through my stop. Instead of actually taking it off here from here to here and then be like, yo, it hit my stop, forget it, move on. What I did was I watched it go all the way to 750 and I actually added here at 650, which was a no-go. That's pretty much a bad mistake. And soon enough, I got stopped out, all of it at actually 8 right here when it broke 8 right here and for a max loss. So this was my worst trade of the week, actually. This is my worst trade of the week. So I do have bad trades because this thing just pretty much could have cost me a lot more if I had big size, and it went all the way up to 13. You can see just amazing squeezer. So what I did was I pretty much redid my rules here, and I wrote in my notebook, try not to short day 2 on the main mover. Try not to short day 2 on the main mover. So the market continuously goes from hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. After a cold period, there's going to be one mover that's going to be the head and the stake. It's going to be called the main mover, and soon enough, the head of the snake was GWH. And soon enough, what you want to do is not short it on day 2, even though the majority of the other tickers are pretty much good shorts on day 2. So don't short the first one. That's actually don't short the first one. This is the head of the snake. But soon enough, if you short the first one, you're looking at a humongous short squeeze here. That's kind of like what happens after, this is part of my rule book now. I actually added this one to my rulebook. Don't short day 2 on the main mover. Or the only mover that ran, it can squeeze into day 3. And soon enough, actually, GWS did squeeze day 3. Hit, what do hit high on the next day? We did gap up Monday, but we sold off. So that's probably my only the second mistake that I did this week. The next mistake was here. So I was pretty euphoric, I think, on Wednesday, because I was pretty excited. You know, on Tuesday, I had a huge win from shorting these battery stocks. You can see on Tuesday, I had a huge win here on shorting all these battery stocks, and money was flying into my pocket really quick. I was like, I had GWH short at like 12 and then cover 680. And ELBM, I shorted at 7, cover at 450. STI, I don't know, I shorted at 20, covered at 17. So I had a huge gain on all these tickers that I was short. I was shorting the battery stocks. You can review my video right here. You can review this video. It actually had the least amount of views, amazingly. This was probably one of my best days of the week. And soon enough I woke up on Wednesday, and my sleep score wasn't that good, and my sleep score was like 50%. I started gambling. What I did, I started gambling. You should not gamble. Gambling. I have to get a haircut. Jesus Christ. I started gambling, and I'll explain what adding after a loser after I was winning in it. So my first trade in Coot, I bought 420, and I was like, great. So I was starting to become greedy. You have to control your greed, your fear. As it Jesse Livermore say, you have to control. You have to fight against your impulses, fear, your greed, your overconfidence, your anxiousness, your overtrading, your patience. You have to fight against them. So what I did here, I was greedy. I went long 520. I went long 520 at small size, and then I added at 460 medium size, and then I added at 5 huge size. So this was a really bad trade. Instead of buying it at 420 and then selling it at 480 and locking in at 15% gain, I actually added on the way up. I thought Trump, I thought it was going to be another big mover. This ticker gapped up from yesterday because Trump has tweeted something about the agricultural stocks, and I woke up and pretty much tried to go long. I went long, I added, and I double added. So instead of, so my average was around, whatever, and then I added again at 4, and then I sell it all at 425. So I added small, I added medium, I added large, and then I added super large, and then I made a profit. That's what I call gambling. Yeah, why am I down 20K for no reason? Yeah, so I did that, and that was the wrong thing to do, and I gambled, and I came out green. And at one point, I was like, when this thing rolled over, I was like, wait a minute, why am I down 20K? So this was gambling. So the right way to do it is kind of like in the next video. This is called the pyramid strategy for the pros. Your first trade should be, say, 1,000 shares at 420. Second trade should be, as you're adding, should be 500 at 440. And then, let me show you the pyramid strategy here. As you go higher in price, and say you wanted this to go higher, the higher it goes, the less you can add. So if you buy it at 420, say 1,000 shares, it goes higher, you buy 500 shares, and then you go higher, you buy 250. If you do this pyramid strategy for the pros, you'll eventually have a lower average. The higher it goes, the lower you add. So therefore, if I buy at 520,000, 500 at 440, and then another 250 at 5, my average is like 435, and my result is a win because it can dip back down, and then I can sell it, and then pretty much avoid this mess. I would be more eager to sell it. The problem is that majority of traders do the reverse pyramid strategy, and they end up losing. This is the reverse pyramid strategy for the newbies. What they do on the first trade, they add 250 shares, small size. Then they add medium amount of shares of Coot, say 500 at 440. Then at five, they add, say 1,000 share, big size at five. So their average price is like 475. So they're using the reverse pyramid strategy. So they're buying little in the beginning. They're buying more as it goes higher. They're buying even more when it goes higher. They're buying the most when it goes the highest level. Soon enough, result of this trade having an average price of 475 equals a disaster. So what I want you to do is to not do the reverse pyramid strategy and do the pyramid strategy for the pros. This is kind of like what I was doing. I was doing the reverse pyramid strategy here, which was a loss. So even though I gambled my way out of it, because I added some at 4 and then sold it off at 430, I was incredibly heavy, and I ended up green on the ticker. But this is not a good trade. Even though I'm green on it, this was not a good trade. But I won on it. So that's kind of like my slide for today. It's actually a pretty short slide. The majority of my trades were long and short, and that's kind of like my mistakes for the week. Make sure you go through all the videos that are going on over here. This was, battery stocks explode, bear mode, and then I shorted the bear mode. And here on Wednesday, I think we had a bunch of agriculture stocks yapping, and then the market kind of cooled down, and I went into my 14.4% huge win. But you can see like my average short has been 23.1%. 23.1%. That's around the same area in which I've seen some pros have. It's around 22.4, 24.3. That's kind of like I did really well this week. I was on the money. But right here, you can see so here that, if you do not stop out, um, say you're shorting a ticker day two and you think this is gonna roll over because every other ticker rolled over on day two, you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt. That's why you need to have a maximum loss at all times because, like I said before, anything can happen in the markets. Um, you know, anything can happen in the markets. That's just the reality of trading. Even the most perfect setup can fail on you. I just maximized the screen there. So my advice to you guys is start out small. It's about survival, and it's about surviving to trade another day. And write down your rules and write down your trades for the week. And soon enough, you do this over and over and over and over again every weekend. You'll end up with P&L that looks like mine, kind of like look at my P&L swings over here. I mean, would you like to be up this amount of money? That would be pretty nice. But it comes down to trading. Comes down to discipline, trading, and practicing. That's kind of like the end of my weekly profit, 202K 881 for the week. And I'll just start it again next week. Actually, my whoop score the next last couple of days have been pretty good, so I'm sure it's gonna be an exciting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday um trading week. Other than that, see you all in my next video and peace out.